So the great question, as we was just talking about, is how does Sonic pick up the coin? And to answer that question, it is collision. Right. Let's think about the games that we'll play. Right. Normally, what you would do, or let's think about the coin. Right. For example, normally what happens is you watch Sonic go super fast, of course, which that's just part of another part of the gameplay, right? You can make your player whatever speed, right? That creates your gameplay. But when Sonic goes super fast, he actually walks over the coin. He overlaps the coin, right? And when he overlaps the coin, it then does what is called an event. And what events are is basically just a piece of code being ran, whatever you want it to be, right? You can have them walk over the coin and turn red like Knuckles or yellow like Tails, right? Or is that gold? Anyway, basically you can have it be whatever you want to happen, whatever event you want to happen when you overlap. That is what will happen, right? And normally when you overlap the coin, what happens? Two things: the Sonic gets an additional coin, and on the screen you are alerted that he got that coin, right? An event was taking place because of collision, right? And there are three types of collisions. There's block, and all block means, just think of a wall, right? You know, when you walk into something, you can't actually go through it, right? But you still can run an event. That's basically what this red thing is, and this is from the Unreal documentation. And of course, definitely go there, check that out. Good source. They're getting better with writing it, and I appreciate y'all as well. And in here, as you see, basically you can't actually go through it. It just stops you, right? There's no way of going through it, but then an event happens. And say, for example, what is like a block event that you may do? It's a lot of different ones, but one, for example, let's take in consideration this game called Black Desert, right? So, like, for example, if you walk past a person, you bump them, and it does an animation that makes you feel like somebody just bumped you because somebody just collided with you, right? And that's how you build gameplay. You understand when is the times that the player will collide with things. You may collide with a door. What would you do when what is the event that you may normally run when you collide with a door? Open the door, right? And here's the overlap event, the one that I was just showing you back in this one, right? When I told you to think about, walking over a coin and picking it up. So basically, you're going to overlap, meaning you're going to have the ability to go through it, but yet still an event happens. So that's going to be an overlapping event. Start thinking about the different overlapping event. That's the fun part about this, right? You want to start thinking. That's how you get it. All right. And the one thing that I want to go ahead and show you, like I showed you in the other video, in the other part, here it is right here. So around the coin, we have a spear collision, and around Sonic, we have a capsule collision. And this capsule collision, basically the collision around the spear, and I'll take you back right up here so you can see it. Go back right here. So this is the coins collision, right? We got the coin to overlap everything. And the pawn right here is this actual player, right? And you see it right here on the side for Sonic, right? Sonic is a pawn. And his main goal is to overlap, well, actually to block everything, which means he just responds to everything. And that's by default. For example, I'm going to give you this one because I want you to know about this. You see this one right here, even though you don't see the word, it's world static, right? World static. And you see it's on block. Let me show you this really quick. So we're going to go right here in the engine, and you see I'm walking around, right? And I want you to know about this if you ever come in here and mess with this so you can fix it. All right, so we're going to go inside the player. Okay. I'll open this up full screen just so you can look at it. And we're going to go over here to the capsule component, which we are. We're going to right click over here, close everything up, collapse all. We don't need to look at everything. And we're going to come down here to collision, open that up. As you see, the collision preset is pawn. We're going to open that up. Actually, we're going to close that back up. And we're going to open this part up. There we go. Here we go. In here. All right. So, let me see if I can, let me just spread this out right now just so you can see it. There we go. World static. Now watch this. I'm going to put I'm gonna change world static from block to overlap and watch what happens. Oh, and let me change. Okay, come up here to collision presets, right? Because it's kind of like set in stone. So you come up here and you change it to custom just for now. Make sure you come back and fix this. All right, put it on custom for now. And world static, we're gonna put this to overlap, and we're just gonna hit compile on it, right? And then let's just slide this out the way. You know, sometimes I mean yours doesn't do that, but sometimes it get out the way. And then let's hit play. Whee! Now, if you notice, the player is falling through the floor, completely through the floor. And the reason why is because of this world static. See, world static, you want to think of a floor, right? This is actors. Even the floor is an actor, right? It's in there, right? So basically, think of a world static just simply means an actor that's not going to move, that's going to normally be still, not going to have any animation. So the floor is the world static. So even with your player, at times, if you wanted to create gameplay where you took that collision off and made them fall through things, then that is, you know, something that you could do if you wanted to as well. Going back over here to put this back on the collision preset upon, just so it goes back to normal. Hit this save button, compile button, and back over here. Standing up again. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Now you know how to stand up for real in this engine. Now look at that. Because at first you was falling through the float. Alright. And giving a little bit more time to this section, world static, like I said, think floor. This should be used for any actor that doesn't move. Static mesh actors are a good example for that. So basically that just means things that do not move. Like I told you earlier, static, standing still. You're expecting them to be the same. And then world dynamic means actors that are going to be moving, basically, through animation. You know, lights flickering or something if you wanted that. Obviously, that's not static. That's constantly dynamic. That's the word right there, right? Dynamic. Lifts and doors are good examples, as we see right there, as a collision, right? So, you know, sometimes you may have things in the world that just stand still, like that floor, like, you know, when we took that floor out, you know, you fell through it and stuff. And then the dynamic part, like I said, is just movable things that are in the world, right? That have animation or some functionality behind it, like let's say a windmill spinning or something, right? Right, functionality, moving, it's moving. And then the pawn, which as we stated earlier, is the character, a subset of the character, right? So basically anything that can be controlled with a controller, right? Or, you know, which is a player controller or a AI controller. Yeah. So yeah, just know about that. So yeah, this is 3 of the collision types just to get you started. Kickstart. Yep, kickstart. Let's move forward. Yeah. And like I said, collision. So the goal is to make sure that over here, as you see right here on the coin, right? The coin's collision is set to overlap everything. It's not blocking anything. Now, if we set it to block, right, and I'll go up here and just show it to you, just so you can see it, right? And actually, let me actually go inside of here. I do got it on there. Let's go over here to the coin. And we're going to click on this coin. We're going to go to edit. I'm going to click right here on the spear. This is the spear that's around it. Right, that's the collision. And as it says right there too, spear collision, right? I will click on that into the properties. And what we'll do for fun, and like it says, all dynamics, right? Which means moving things with functionality. So by default, it's literally set to overlap anything that's moving, basically, and not, you know, block it. But I'm gonna show you. Let's go ahead and try that. We're gonna go to custom, and we're gonna go down here to pawn, and we're gonna put it on block. Let's see what happens. Here we go. What in the world? I can't go through the coin. Look at that. That is not normal. So yeah, the collision, right? You're colliding with it. It's colliding with it like it's a wall. So yet, as you see, collision matters in gameplay. Because you're not, if you want the player to go through the coin, you want to make sure that it overlaps rather than blocks. Because all of these walls and everything else in here it's blocking and not letting us out because that's how it works. It's blocking. Even this dang coin right here blocking now. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put that back on normal. Now let's click on the coin again. Go up here to edit. And since we know that dynamics mean movable things in the world and stuff with like animations and stuff, we're going to click back here on the collision preset and just put it back to overlap all dynamics, right? Just overlap it. Full overlap, don't block nothing, just full overlap. There we go. Coin back in place. Go back to the middle. Let's run over this coin, right through it. Now, here's the thing. We didn't pick it up yet, but that's what we about to get to. We about to get to picking up. How do we pick up this coin and then give Sonic his points, right? We're going to get there. Let's get to it.